Once upon a times, there was a frog. He lived among the lily pads, and his food was lilies and crickets. This made up his diet, but there were no other frogs. They were all toads around him. So he found a lily pad that he really liked. It was perfect size, not too big, not too small. And he enjoyed his lily pad. He even put some berries around it, on it, around the corners, and made it just, look nice. It was his lily pad. Unfortunately, he still could not find any real frogs. I mean, he considered how good it would feel to have a toad come and hang out on his lily pad with him. Show her his lily pad, show her the little berries he had put around it. Let her eat the lilies with him in there on his lily pad and shit. And he even strived for that at times. At times it felt like, man, what is the point? There's no frog. There's no frog out there. I see all these toads fucking other toads. He even met a Mexican toad once. Hold on. I want y'all to see that. There was even a Mexican toad he really liked. And that was the closest he got to really having someone on his lily pad. But that's besides the point. Regardless, he just kept making his lily pad nice and just waiting for a frog to come along that over time he kind of just came to find or came to believe did not exist. Frogs don't exist. There's no frog like me. It's a whole bunch of toads, and he dreamed of taking his lily pad and floating pretty deep off to where the pond that he resided in turned into a stream, and taking that stream down yonder to who knows where, to become a hermetical frog. Sort of a monk. And he thought, maybe a toad would come along and hop on his lily pad prior to him leaving. And he'd have a toad companion. And they could make frog-toad babies or something. But as for finding a frog, psych. Not gonna happen, probably. Now before I continue with this little story, let me back it up a little bit, because there was a moment, kind of, maybe not a moment, but a series of moments that changed things for this frog. One day, the frog was on his lily pad, and another lily pad came by with a toad on it. And this toad, he said, "Hey, frog, listen. I see you're over here always waiting for another frog to come along. But here's the thing you're getting wrong, bro. You can't be looking at all of us like toads. You have to see yourself just like all of us." And that's really the only way that the one that's bigger than us is gonna ever love you. Because not to do that would be prideful. If you thought you were any better or any different than the rest of us toads, that would be pride, and you belong in hell for that. Individuality, so prideful. And the frog was like, "Dude, that is actually sounds true as fuck. Like, if I just settle my mind, and if I just fit in, maybe I can have a standard nuclear family of frog toads." And Jesus will love me more. And so the frog's idea from a child had been that he would find another frog. And there was this visions of the frogs having reunited in the very first union. Like, "Oh my God, I missed you." And it's your first time being with one another. See? I think that was the frog's vision from early age, was something along these lines. But he was bombarded with so much. No, there's no special. There's nothing more than the wood and the stones and the bricks and the dollars and the numbers and the cars and the houses. There's nothing more than that, and the steel and the metal and the glasses and the clothes. There's nothing more special. There's nothing bigger. Maybe there's God, but that's for the next life. In this life, you just worry about bricks and dollars and numbers and shoes. And he got bombarded with that so much that he forgot that vision of reuniting on the first union with his lover. He forgot about it entirely. Just be a toad. Come on. Just be a toad. Find a toad. Settle with the toad. Raise some toad frogs. It's fucking cold. I used to really want a haunted Mexican toad. You know what happened? I met one. Which, shame. Anyways, one night, the frog, he saw it again. He saw a garden surrounded by pretty fruit trees. Far from anything else. And from around the trees came the one he was meant to be reunited with. The frog saw that again, and it felt like he hadn't seen that in a long time. And it made him feel a little bit more content, a little more trusting in a process he can't see. And so, as it was, the frog decided to take his lily pad solo dolo down the stream. Deuces, hasta luego, and he was out. He headed down the stream on the mysterious, unknowing path that lay before him, where no turn had a pre-decided outcome, where there was no guarantees. And on this path, he found himself a nice place by the stream. And he set up his lily pad there amongst the lilies to eat. And one day he was hopping along and he came across the garden where he had imagined he would end up. And she was there, his maiden frog late woman. His maiden frog, so beautiful and gentle. And she appreciated him. And it was as if they were never apart. The end.